Hey guys, James here. I'm here to review how my 20.1 went. In all, just a little spoiler here. I went 11:57 and I was pretty happy with it. I'm trying to think of whether I need to redo it or not. So what I want to do is review my workout, review how I did, look at the round pacing and see how we should go. This is going to be a fairly long video, as in 20.1 was long, and I'm just going to show my whole 20.1 here. So let's go ahead and sync up these videos. I'm starting the workout in 3, 2, 1, and I'm going. So obviously I am doing snatches here in these clips. I'm going to do mostly 8 snatches unbroken every time. I think a few rounds I did break those up. And then for those burpees I did step up, and I was pretty happy with that decision to do step up, jump, spin, and then kind of fall down here. So I'm finishing up my snatches in the first round. And one thing that I did is I'll probably put off to the side. I put up a whiteboard with the rounds and the score on each of those rounds that I'd like to hit. So on that whiteboard, I believe it had 105 for the first round. No, I had a minute for the first round, 105, 110s until about round 7 or 8, and then a few 115s. That was my goal. That put me at about 9 minutes and 15 seconds at the end of 8 rounds. So the idea of that is the last 2 rounds, there's no time there. It's just sprint from there. My goal was to break 12 minutes. So as you can see, I just finished my first round. My first round was pretty fast at 54. So what I did was my goal was a minute on the clock. So I just waited 5 or 6 seconds there. I think that's really important to do, especially in this workout, is to have those little breaks here in the workout. Obviously, in a workout where you are doing more than a sprint's worth of effort, so you are doing 15 minutes potentially of work, you need those little rests. So once again, I decided I was going to think about doing an EMOM when I first saw this released, but then I watched Rich Froning do it in 10 minutes, and I'm not Rich Froning by any means. So again, my goal was 12 minutes there. So what I'm looking at here is for at what point did I really slow down. So a total breakdown of my rounds is as follows. I started off with the first round of 54. The second round I'm going to finish here in 101. Next round I'm going to finish in 109. The next round I sped up a little bit at 105. Then I went to 110. So that is 5 rounds completed at 5 minutes and 21 seconds. Right about there, as I predicted when I let people know about this workout, is where I started to die and fall off a little bit. So then round 5 to 8 or so will be very revealing. So at round 5, I bumped up from 110 the previous round to 122 for round 6. Round 7 was 129. Round 8 was 131. Round 9 was 123. And then the last round, I picked it up and I went my fastest round of all. I went 51 seconds on the last round. We'll see when we get to my burpees of that last round. So what does this really look like? What it looks like is if I was to redo it, I should probably slow down, maybe pull off the pedal about 3 to 4 seconds per round on the first rounds. Then that'll pay dividends on the 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th round, where I went all 120 up to even 130. That'll pay dividends and bring that back a little bit. As well, I wasn't particularly sore after the workout, and after a few minutes I was able to stand up and be pretty fine because I had all this in my tank left to give for that final round. So now, looking at the workout here, we're kind of met with the question, should I redo it? You know, it's Sunday night when I'm going to put out this video. A lot of people have redone it by now. I would normally redo it on Monday night just to give my body time to rest. But like I said, I wasn't too sore. It's mostly lower back work that went through this workout. So what would be to gain from redoing the workout? Well, I'm not making a sanctional off of my open score because that's not how it works. So what to gain is from the open is national champion or top spots in the open. I think I've been fairly transparent with the fact that I am not at that spot yet by any means. I'm training for a sanctional event first, and I'm only training to qualify for that in the spring. So what I'd be looking at is to compete with other people. That doesn't get me a spot for qualifying. What that boils down to is it's an ego if I wanted to do it again. Right now, I'm guessing I'll probably be around 1500 with this workout. This is a workout that was pretty decent for me. And if I wanted to get top 1500 in the open, which was my goal, and I got 1500 every workout, I would be way ahead of top 1500 because most people would not have performed at that level in every single workout. So this is putting me above pace that I need to be at for my open standard here. So anyways, I'm just going to fast forward here a little bit. Well, actually, not even fast forwarding here. You saw me take the first little break here in my burpees, and this is kind of a tale of what's to come. My snatches never really slowed down that much, but my burpees did. I feel like a lot of people encountered the same thing. So really the moral of this story is I'm gonna go ahead, finish it out, find something to talk about the last few minutes of this, and let you guys see the end of my workout. But the moral of this story is, when you're redoing a workout, try not for it to just be about ego. If you're redoing it and you're going to massively improve because you did something wrong with strategy, let's say you did clean and jerk for this workout, you realize that was a big mistake because having that weight on your chest and just being a slower movement was not worth it, then sure, redo it because you're probably going to take minutes off of your time by doing that. However, if it's just a case of, I think I can try a little bit harder here, you should never redo a workout just for that. You should really have a goal behind it. Like I said, I want to redo it. I'm not going to because I don't think it's worth it. But I kind of want to because I think I went out just a few seconds too fast on the first few rounds, and I kind of paid for it in my 6th to 9th round. By no means did I die, but I also think I had a little bit more left in the tank because I overwhelmed myself towards the front, and I didn't really realize until the 10th round that I had enough energy to do those last burpees in like 20 some seconds. So just when you think of redoing a workout, consider that. Another thing to consider while you're redoing is kind of how taxing it's going to be for your next week. This is not going to be the most taxing thing. The weight is not too heavy. The reps are fairly high, but if you do it correctly and you do it in a safe manner, doing 80 snatches in a day is not going to murder or massacre you. So once again, here's where I first fell off my time. We're at the 7-minute mark. My goal for that round was 6:45. So now I've fallen behind 15 seconds. Once again, I still met my goal of under 12 minutes, but if I stuck with that time, probably would have been around 11 minutes or so. So looking at these snatches, we'll see. Do I end up breaking these up? I think I managed to hit all of those straightforward. So my burpees just start to slow down here. You'll see me jump over, maybe take a rest. As opposed to just jumping and falling straight down, I'm starting to rest between each burpee now. I just kind of want to get that first burpee done. Then every single time I'm reaching down, touching my toes a little bit, and just kind of dragging on here. So as far as conditioning work goes, right, if I want to improve this by the time the springtime comes around, I'm looking at a lot of competition of people who are going 10-minute plus workouts. How am I going to compare to that? Well, I think the first and most obvious thing is I need to do more burpees. My burpees don't look fantastic here, and when they are tied in conjunction with something else, they do slow down a lot. So my thought is, okay, how can I tie this into my sanctional goals? Well, how about let's just make this into a type of EMOM, right? You know, this is a pretty hard to do EMOM, but what if you brought the reps down to, let's say, 6 power snatches and changed the burpees to 5, right? Cut those in half. That'd be a pretty good 35 to 40 seconds of work at this pace. And that'd be really good training to do that for, say, 10 minutes. Obviously, you wouldn't get the same amount of reps as doing a workout like this. However, you're still getting very good impetus for training of getting back down into that burpee, not having much rest before starting the next round. I really like, as you can probably tell with my sanctional videos, reducing things down to EMOMs because it just makes you, one, be able to have that drive to start the next round, and that's your motivation. You don't have to kind of fetch internal motivation like with a chipper or an AMRAP or something like that. EMOM, you just set the movements to be difficult per minute, and then you can go ahead and chip away at that. So looking at the clock here, it looks like we're about in the 8th minute. So I'm looking at having 3 minutes left. I imagine I have about 2 more sets here. And the burpees are just slowing down more and more. As you can see in the last few rounds, in the next few minutes, I'll start to even break up the barbell. And I think this is where I got into that hole, kind of the defeatist hole that some people get into. Obviously, I pulled myself out of it, and I'm very happy with my time, but that doesn't mean at no point did you enter that hole. I obviously did, and for these rounds, I was just kind of slow. I was off my tempo right here, and yet I still took a few seconds rest. I only have 2 more rounds left, and I'm still breaking up the barbell here. It's taking a step back. And I think that's where a little bit of the mental toughness workouts will really help. So those workouts where you don't have much rest, like I said, maybe an EMOM. Bike is notorious for getting you through mental workouts. So those will be good things to train through the winter. Kind of the things to look forward to on this workout. Number 1, my conditioning is pretty good. I think finishing sub 12 minutes is something to be happy with. Another thing to be happy with is the Olympic lifting did not really hurt my lower back all too much. A lot of people were complaining of their lower back being sore, but I was able to cycle those snatches fairly straightforward, so that's another thing to look forward to. And as far as the larger scheme of the open goes, looking at this workout, I have a feeling this was the conditioning workout. Just like last year, there was the rowing wall ball conditioning workout, and that was more for me. So I don't think I have a workout to look forward to that is just going to be strictly conditioning. I feel like that meant this. It wasn't a particularly heavy barbell, and it wasn't a particularly complex movement. It wasn't a squat snatch, for example. So that's something that I might not have placed as well as last year, but I'm still happy with how I did. Anyways, pretty proud of the last few burpees. I think I have more in the tank than I realized, so I really sprinted it out here. Look on the clock. I had 20 seconds left to do these burpees, and I managed to finish them. Well, Alexa's sheet of paper's in the way, but I managed to finish these 10 in 20 seconds to finish in that under 12-minute goal. But yeah, 20.1 was a beast. Very happy with my time, hoping that ends me up in the top 1,500 or so. Here was the whole workout. I'll leave you guys with a little bit of me rolling around on the ground and not realizing that my water bottle was there for a solid minute or so. Anyways, you guys, I'm probably going to be doing a review of all my workouts and whether or not it's worth it to repeat. Just as a little bit of a heads up, I'm probably going to say it's not worth it to repeat on most of them. If I'm looking and planning the workout ahead of time, and especially considering I don't get too much out of the open other than a checkpoint to see where I'm at, it's going to have to take a really big mistake my first time doing a workout for me to want to redo it. Anyways, have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching my entire 20.1. And if you would, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on Thursday night for an overview of 20.2 and what wonderful things it has to come. Have a good one. Bye.